Have been courting America's Asian voters. From Washington, we can speak now to Robert G., who's a member of the Committee of 100. That's a Chinese-American organization. He's currently involved in campaigning for Barack Obama in one of the key swing states, Virginia. Welcome, Mr. G. Why is it, do you think, that Asian Americans have remained undecided voters for so long in this campaign?
Thank you, Michelle, for having me on your program today. And I want to caveat that my remarks are my own and don't represent necessarily the Committee 100 or the Obama campaign. I think the reason why Asian American voters are undecided is that many of them are first-time voters, and they're taking a very careful look at both presidential candidates to see whether their values and their stands on issues are compatible with their beliefs. But in the end, I think that, and polls will show, that the balance of the undecided voters along with the majority of Asian American voters ultimately are going to support Barack Obama.
And I'm conscious that you're speaking as someone who is volunteering for the Obama campaign. But why do you think that is? Because many Asian Americans who are registered Democrats were voting for Hillary Clinton earlier in the campaign process, weren't they?
Yes, they were. And the reason why is because Hillary Clinton had an 18-year track record, both she and her husband, in courting the support of that community. And Senator Barack Obama was just not that well known. He's made up that difference, however, after the primary race going into the general election, and the polls now show that the preponderance of all the Hillary Clinton supporters, including those from the Asian American community, are now firmly backing Senator Obama.
There are differences, aren't there, though, within the community, because it is a very geographically diverse community and there are many different factors at play. It is still true, is it not, that Vietnamese Americans are really McCain supporters?
Yes, the polls are showing that that is the only Asian American ethnic group that still has a majority support for Senator McCain. And that's logical, both because Senator McCain did have, as you know, his military heritage of service in Vietnam. He was a prisoner of war. Many of the first-generation voters that came from Vietnam and immigrated to the United States 30 years ago have a deep affection for Senator McCain because of his service in that battle theater, and as a consequence, they have a large base of support. I can say, however, that among the more recent Vietnamese voters, those who were children of those who emigrated to the United States, are by and large Democrats now and are firmly backing Barack Obama. But on the whole, I think it's fair to say that that community probably has a little more support for Senator McCain than for Senator Obama.
Getting out the vote is still an issue, though, isn't it? And the Obama campaign in particular has spent a lot of time involved in voter registration and trying to get its support out on the day.
That is correct. In Virginia in particular, what I've witnessed, there has been an enormous organizational effort to get all registered voters to turn out to vote on November 4. And in particular, they've targeted the Asian American vote, because that vote block can be perceived, or is perceived rather, as a potential swing block vote that could hand the state to Senator Obama in a very close race. There are right now about 100,000 registered Asian American voters in Virginia, and in a close race that can make a difference, as indicated in at least one past Senate race here in Virginia just 2 years ago, where the prevailing Democratic candidate won by only 7,000 votes.
All right. Robert G., many thanks for your time. It'll be fascinating to see what happens. Thanks very much indeed.
Appreciate your having me.